men working together in the halal industry. So now I have the pleasure to present Her Excellency Fauzia Pir. She's our first speaker, inshallah, for today. She is Vice President of Minara Chambers of Commerce and the Chairperson of Minara Business and Professional Women. She will represent the country of South Africa. And let me tell you about Her Excellency Fauzia Pir. She is the former deputy mayor in the Edekni municipality. Her political career has spanned 25 years in local government, and she is considered as a veteran ANC activist. In her position as the Vice President of Minara Chambers of Commerce and the Chairperson of Minara Business and Professional Women, she works closely to carry out Minara's vision of promoting and stretching business activities for its members. The Minara Chambers of Commerce is the establishment of a dynamic and vibrant business community, guided by an Islamic tenet that works to make a mindful contribution to the socio-economic development of South African community. Please, Her Excellency Fauzia Pir, welcome to the 4th International Halal Conference. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Good morning to all the distinguished speakers and the listeners and all protocols observed. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am greatly honored to do the opening remarks today at the International Halal Conference on the subject of women leadership in the global halal industry. And you know, when I look what happened? Is everyone on?
Have you been hijacked?
No, I think all the lights went off here in Durban. But you can hear me.
Please continue.
Yes.
And we would like to ask everyone that is connected here to mute their microphone, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So when I look at the guest speakers today, we can gauge that our countries can no longer do without the expertise, the skills and experience of women in leadership positions. Beyond a doubt that women, once empowered, are always empowered. It confirms that the empowerment of women tends to have a multiple effect on the wider community. So by creating networks of women entrepreneurs, example, in this conference today, we do not seek to marginalize men, but rather to give women access to the new alliances that are shaping tomorrow's economy. Networking gives women the opportunity to end their isolation and, above all, give them access to strategic information, in this case, of the halal industry. Now, beyond any action that we can implement, there is a common denominator that might incite women to create their enterprise, developing an entrepreneurial culture. A taste of business must come from the business environment itself. I believe that women's equality is defined by women's economic empowerment. And the ultimate empowerment is through entrepreneurship. Women-owned businesses are the fastest growing force in liberal economies. And women business owners are becoming the new face of many economies. Women provide an essential opportunity for economic and social development and, of course, progress as well. They have a different vision. Thanks to the delays that they are currently remediating, a vision which is new and different, and of course, realistic as well, modern and enthusiastic. When social structures leave no possibility for evolving in their careers, and when civil society closes its doors to them, women take their own initiatives. They are quite naturally drawn to initiatives, I must say, to creation and to the management of businesses. Economic and social responsibility make political responsibility even easier to take. There will be a natural and inevitable progression from one to the other. Now, women fight for their rightful place in the economy. You will all agree with me, and not for privileges, because business has no gender. What is natural? What is natural success for men is a conquest for women. So women's participation in any kind of economic activity is of a complementary nature to their family incomes. Their participation in no way reduces their family responsibilities. Now, the key to sustaining the gains we have made in advancing the status of women is through social, psychological, and economic development. I strongly believe in that. We have to start thinking about the empowerment of women as a collaborative effort by all industries, by fostering partnerships across industries. We can conceive creative and innovative ideas to further our mission of increasing the numbers of women in leadership. Women must continuously be encouraged. And I urge us to do that so that we can encourage them to participate in strategic sectors of the economy. And when they do, they must be also encouraged to not be silent about patriarchal domination and to not just articulate men's interest. They must identify their own needs and speak out about issues that affect them directly. So most importantly, women must uplift other women. We rise best by lifting others, I can assure you. There are lots of pressures in leadership positions. If we have more women in numbers, they are likely to understand each other's challenges. If we attract more women into leadership and also executive positions, we can contribute to the possibility of transforming our industry. So mentoring is a key driver of gender transformation. Those who have climbed the so-called ladder need to make it their responsibility to mentor, to encourage others, and also to develop and advance themselves. And by doing so, we will be contributing to increased numbers of women in leadership positions that are strategic to the structure of the economy. Now, there are many opportunities for women throughout the economy. Think of them carefully. And let us unlock their doors to success and unlock their avenues of opportunity. So I urge everyone, all women and men of goodwill, to dare the difference and bet on women. I promise you this, you will not be disappointed. For when women shine like the sun, their radiance will forever undimmed. So ladies, I was told to speak on empowerment first, and then I go to the fact that, South Africa and halal, the halal factory or the halal, factor or industry. So as a matter of interest, South Africa is one of the continent that has the smallest Muslim population. And it's between 1.5 and 3%, and has become one of the 5 largest producers of halal products worldwide, which was reported by Africa News Room, alhamdulillah. Now, the halal industry is worth almost $3.3 billion in South Africa, according to the Independent Online. Growing Muslim populations should push the demand for halal products. What is interesting to note is that according to the Thomson Reuters data, the Sub-Saharan Africa regional spend on halal foods about, I think, 1.14 billion. In 2013, the emphasis has been mainly on halal meats and meat products.
Can I get a Hoya?
But the trend has
Sorry, excuse me, Fauzia, just a moment, please. There are some people that is connected with the microphone on, and I'm trying to mute them. But please, if you are here connected, we suppose that you are paying attention of this conference. So we need you to mute the microphone, please. Sorry, Her Excellency.
Thank you very much. It's a bit displeasing, we all should be muted from the very beginning. Okay, so South Africa has emerged as one of the 5 largest producers of halal products worldwide, largely due to its access to the rest of the continent and its highly advanced halal certification programs. I think nearly about 65% of all products in South African retail stores are certified halal. And we're so proud about that. And the development of South African strong halal certification has a lot to do with apartheid in the second half century, said Peter Smith in one of the Gulf reports. So under apartheid, Muslims, like I would say Indians, blacks, and whites, were confined to live in special areas. They were not allowed to trade, or many outside with men, or marry outside the community. It was forbidden. This was a major form of oppression, and you all know about it. So since cultural characteristics were guarded and not assimilated into local culture, the Muslim identity grew strong in South Africa, leading to huge efforts in social and political progress. And that was told by Smith. South Africa has about 700 masjids and 600 educational institutions. It must have grown by now, for all I care. Some private Muslim schools are secular. The country has several Islamic finances in this country. So halal certification was introduced to South Africa in the early 1960s, as early as that in the apartheid, when almost everything was cooked or prepared at home, from baking to slaughtering chickens. There was limited oversight. Now, after the African National Congress took over, where I'm a leader in that, and yes, being the deputy mayor for the biggest municipality, metropolitan municipality, the former, and I have now decided to push my passion in a different way. So when they took over in 1994, the ANC, a huge amount of halal products began to be imported. Deregulation of the meat industry meant that we had to develop national infrastructure to deal with the complexities of supply chain, said Maulana Laki, Naval Laki. He's the theological director of the South African National Halal Authority. Now, there was a lack of uniformity at that time in inspections. The system was inadequate and there was no control over halal imports. The industry didn't really understand what halal entailed, he said. And today, there are strict rules to halal meat production. Halal meat involves complete removal of blood. Conservative principles extend beyond the meat industry to the food, beverage, and pharmaceutical industries. Every facet of the consumables industry is covered, said Mr. Smith. So today, incredibly, around 60% of all products on display at outlets in South Africa are halal certified. Despite Muslims forming only 2% of the population, alhamdulillah, this huge percentage of halal products is due to the large quantity of exports to the north of the continent, much of which is Muslim. And the fact that South African traders made up about 50% of the continent's fast-moving consumer goods sector. And 35% of these are Muslims. So the South African National Halal Authority has helped other African countries as well to set up halal certification. And this includes, I think, Zambia, Namibia, Botswana, and Mozambique. The total value of the halal industry in 2012 exceeded $2 trillion a year, including Islamic finance, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, logistics, and fashion. Gulf businesses also reported this whole concept. So Rotterdam became the first port in the world to embrace the halal logistics concept. I'm sure you're aware of that. And they established a separate section for halal logistics at its port. And this was told by Navalaki here. Now, South Africa's work over the decades is now paying off. If we look at it, halal is becoming a holistic concept. So in your presentation, also you must realize that we South Africans have halal certifiers. And just put that as one side, that we have the Muslim Judicial Council Halal Trust, we have the National Independent Halal Trust, we have the South African National Halal Authority, also the Islamic Council of South Africa, the Halal Foundation of South Africa. So South Africa is one of the few countries that manufactures all the categories in the food and beverages, the spices, the canned foods, daily products, dairy products, and flavorings as well as confectioneries. So you can see now that the halal sector has become far more widespread than just meat slaughtered in a halal manner. It now encompasses every facet of the consumer need, from food to health supplements, as I mentioned, from clothing to cosmetics, from finance to business, and from tourism to lifestyle. Now, this multi-trillion-dollar, I just pointed out, sector is not just an opportunity for businesses, but more importantly, represents an opportunity for economic development and also upliftment of marginalized communities, specifically we women in the developing countries. So if it's harnessed and adopted, it can bring benefit to women in rural areas, not just urban areas. Let's look at that very, very creatively. So creating opportunity for cultural tourism, where Muslim tourists can be hosted in homes to experience authentic culture, where diverse fashion can fuse with modest wear to create high fashion clothing suited for the Muslim women, where herbal and traditional remedies can cater for their health consciousness, and where Islamic finance can fund micro business ventures. On the other hand, business needs to consider the importance of the Muslim women consumer. Women are responsible for 75% of home good purchases, 60% of large purchase decisions, and a significant say in investment decisions. So the Muslim woman is a discerning consumer who has a great fashion sense, wants to look and feel healthy, runs her own business, or top of her profession, is looking to explore the world with a family and wants the wholesome food for her family. So in conclusion, I must say, so those business wanting to be part of the halal sector must take cognizance of her needs as a consumer and consult with her requirements and taste at all times. Thank you very much for indulging in listening to me today. I hope it was not too long. Thank you so much. Wassalam.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency Fauzia Pir. Thank you for your enormous contribution. We are really happy and we feel blessed that we have women from all over the world participating today until 13, inshallah, and for your remarkable information regarding the women leadership, the needs that the women still needing spaces in all industries, in halal or not even in many spaces, and for remember the interesting for the halal development in South Africa, that from Argentina, I well know them because not only for the manufacturing, but also how they audits and the halal bodies in South Africa, the halal bodies accreditation, the knowledge for halal from all over the world. So thank you very much. Now, after South Africa, we will fly to Italy with Sister Aisha. So first of all, I will present Sister Aisha. Excuse me, can you mute your phone, please, Al-Ghazali?
Yes, hello.
Can you mute your phone, your microphone, please? Thank you. Okay, well, we will continue with the speaker number two, Anna Maria Aisha Tiozzo. She is founder and president of World Halal Development, Halal Roma, Italy. Let me tell you something about her that is a lot, mashallah. In 1998, she founded ATS, Private Legal and Judiciary School, and she moved to Yemen for studies and research on tribal and Islamic law. In 2007, she founded, first woman in the sector, the Italian Halal Certification Center, World Halal Development, although also certifying food and feed. World Halal, World Halal Development has particular, excuse me? Okay, sorry. I thought it was another span, so sorry. World Halal Development has a particular competence in the field of halal cosmetics that drove the company to be chosen by the biggest international beauty exhibition to create a drive, the first worldwide pavilion of halal cosmetics and Muslim-friendly spa. Following this success, she has been asked to repeat the experience in the food sector for Tutto Food Milan exhibition. From halal gluten-free and bio project up to the successful Italia Veti program for Muslim-friendly tourism in Italy. WHAD is involved in a number of innovative and scientific projects. Anna Maria was honored to personally train the 12 personal chefs of the President of Italian Republic on how to cook halal for foreign delegations, as well as the cuisine of Italian Ministry of Defense. While the last halal cosmetic line she certified and consulted was awarded between the three most innovative products of the year from Elle magazine for conjugating halal certification and science research. Journalist and writer, she has spoken in more than 100 Islamic marketing and finance, halal certification and their impact on business and the sales. In 2015, she was elected vice president with mandate for Arab countries for Confasociation International, the Italian confederation grouping more than 280 Italian associations of professionals. From, from 2020, she is president of the section Food, Hospitality and Tourism with a mandate for Expo Dubai activities. Thank you very much, Sister Aisha. Please, the floor is yours. We cannot hear you. Sister Aisha, we cannot hear you.
Okay, I actually had unmuted Sister Aisha.
Please, Sister Aisha, can you? No, we cannot hear you. Sister Aisha, I ask you to unmute yourself. You are unmute, Sister Aisha, but we cannot hear you. Maybe if you leave the Zoom and come again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry, but can you hear me now?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Great. Sorry, but there was a screen saying that the organizer didn't allow me to enter. And so it was impossible for me to activate. I was activating. Very sorry for this. Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters and brothers, obviously. And thank you for this invitation and this floor that is very inspiring for me. And thank you to Miss Fauzia for her really inspiring messages, which represent a lot my personal history that I would like to share with you, because it starts many and many years ago when I arrived to Yemen. If I can share the video. Okay, the story for me started here, started when I was 25 years old. And I was president of a law school in Italy, preparing, graduated in law to become judge. So I moved to Yemen to study tribal law and Islamic law, and to compare the tribal, Islamic, and local law. And I was invited in this Congress, very interesting for me. And the reason why I'm sharing this, you will know immediately. And it was a Congress about women in law, in judiciary system. So there was some lawyers from Canada that was doing this conference, trying to empower local women and to convince local women they have to higher their expectation in the judiciary system, trying to convince them that they have to study and to try to change the situation of the judiciary system of Yemen. And after half an hour, they was speaking. One Yemeni woman raised her hand, and she said, "Sorry, how many women you have in Canada that are judge?" And the speaker said, "I don't know. I think I don't remember the number." And the Yemeni women answered, "You know, we have 3 times this number in Yemen. This was very shocking for me because I understood that we took for granted that there was no a women's society in Islamic countries coming from our tradition. This journey to Yemen that had to be like 2-3 months ended to be a 7-year trip for me, in which I, alhamdulillah, found not only a new job, but I found Islam. So I reverted 25 years ago in Yemen. And this was for me the beginning of the story. But the beginning of my journey in halal started here. I hope some of you can recognize themselves because this was one of the first meetings of a halal certification center in Malaysia. I think it was 2009 or 10. And it was maybe our 3rd or 2nd Congress in the world. We was only 30 persons and coming from every part of the world. And in this period, I was only a consultant of halal certification. And exactly in this conference, one mufti came to me and asked me, why are you a consultant in halal? So I tried to justify, because, you know, I think this is a great job for me. I think I can do very well. I think he said, no, I'm asking you why you are only a consultant. Why you do the consultant for other certification center and you don't open your own certification center. I was very shocked by this, and I said, you know, I'm a woman. And he stopped me and said, so what? Do you think because you are a woman, you cannot have a halal certification center? And the answer is, yes, this is my perception. I think that in this world and in this job, I have no space except to be a consultant. And he was the one insisting with me and convincing me to change and to open my certification center, my own certification center. That for sure was the first one in Italy and was the first one, maybe in Europe, in which one woman was the president and the founder of a halal certification center. Obviously, in Italy, we had halal before, but we cannot talk about halal certification. There was imam certifying the meat, like I think before 2003 or 2005, this was the situation everywhere, because we know that we can speak about halal certification when we have standards and procedures, when we have legislation, we have a company that wants to apply, and we have a third party that have to check. And in Italy, it was very strange to have a halal certification center because we are only 2.4 million Muslim in Italy. And we are the center of Christianity because we have the Pope in Rome. So it was very, when I came back with my family and I said, you know what, I reverted to Islam and I decided not to be a lawyer and I want to open a halal certification center. Everybody looked at me like I lost my mind. And in fact, I lost my job because the university where I was teaching, they canceled my contract. 90% of my friends, they said, you lost your mind. And even some people from my family became very, very, very far from me. And for me, this was the first challenge to speak with my family and to speak with my friend that could not understand why I was turning from an exceptional career in law and in having a law school and turning into halal. So in 2007, I finally founded my halal certification center, World Halal Development. In the beginning, we was involved only in food. Coming from a situation in which only Imam was certifying, and the development of the halal market in Italy was in the beginning from single Muslim slaughterman to Islamic community, and then from Islamic community to halal certification center. So after our center in 2010, other certification centers was born, and we helped them to grow also. And we went to private standards or no standards to private standards. And finally, in 2012, from private standards to international standards. In the market, the development was from the meat, the raw meat to the processed meat, and from meat to the ready-to-eat dishes, from meat to cheese, sweets, and other food, from food to drinks, and from meat to fish, especially to farmed fish. But the development was especially in the communication. In the beginning, all the companies that was getting the halal certification, they did no advertising and no communication at all. They was creating other brands to communicate their halal products. And especially, they was dedicating those products to immigrants. And the development was to understand that those products were not only for export, but was also for the local community. That was not only for Muslims, but was for everybody. In the beginning, the certification was only for the internal market and especially for ethnic shops. Then the companies understood step by step that it was important for export. And finally, they came back understanding that the major market for their halal products was Europe itself. We saw obviously a development in our center too. In the beginning, the only standards was Malaysian and Indonesian standards, and we arrived finally to the OIC standards, GSO, and the importance of those standards was to be based on 17065 when we talk about the certification center. That's how we arrived to be a very complex certification center in which there are three main departments: the technical departments, the Sharia auditors, and the laboratory test. And obviously, the certification is given by a certification committee, but we have also two other departments. One is the Department of Research and Studies together with universities. And the other obviously is the legal department, which I am in charge. And what's the role of the legal department? To control how the certificates and the logos are used in the market, and how the companies are spending their certificates. For us, one of the most important thing was to give the opportunity to young Muslim local students to join our center and to have a career. When I think about women, Muslim women in Italy, I see that the first difficulties, the first challenges for them is to find a job because they are wearing the hijab or because they are declaring themselves Muslim. In our center, finally, to be Muslim and to wear the hijab is a plus. And we are very proud of this, to give the opportunity of to many and many food technologists, many pharmacists, many chemists to have a proper job in which they can demonstrate their attitudes and they can grow. For me particularly, the best satisfaction is to see our logo in the local products, in the local and international products. So I'm very happy when I can finally see our logo in Italian products. And one of the development that we had was especially in the market. So going from the ethnic shops to the hypermarkets and from retail to online, from retail to HoReCa, and from private to institution and duty-free segment. In 2011, the Presidency of Italian Republic asked us to give training and to certify the cuisine of the Presidency of Italian Republic. This for me was one of the bigger recognition of all my efforts in the halal. And following this experience, we was honored to be asked from the Ministry of Defense to train and certify the chef and the cuisine of the Ministry of Defense. This experience that was very, very particular because we take it for granted that at an institutional level, there is a knowledge on how to receive Muslim guests and Muslim ministries. From this experience, we started to think about a tourist project going to the private sector. And in 2013, we finally launched our project, Italia Beiti Muslim Friendly Hospitality, with which we was targeting hotels, restaurants, caterings, and spa and beauty center, because our center is particularly known in the field of cosmetics. The best development of this project was when regions and the city of Rome decided to enter the project and to finance the project itself. You can understand how this was a big step for us in Italy and for the city of Rome, that is a center for Christianity, to sponsor a project in halal was really exceptional. I spent many efforts to promote the halal in the markets, and I succeeded in involve all our exhibition centers. So we had the first halal corner in a cosmetic exhibition and the first halal corner in a food exhibition. Together with Tutto Food exhibition in 2017, we launched the project Halal in Italian and European hypermarkets. What was the importance of this project is to speak with the hypermarkets and explain a simple things. When you target the Muslim consumer, you just think that to insert halal products is for every Muslim that is in the market. With our project, we did finally the first real research on the market. So we was able to target around 50 kilometers from each selling point, how many Muslims live, how many families, and which history of immigration they have, because for sure, an Italian Muslim doesn't eat like a Pakistani one or like an Albanian or like a Saudi. So halal is for everyone, but we don't eat the same things. So we was able to explain to the hypermarkets which products to insert, which halal products to insert, how to insert, and when to insert, depending on the different calendar and festivity for Muslims. Halal started to go to the newspaper, and not only to local newspaper, to magazine, to Elle and to IP magazine, international magazine. What for sure is our main concern is to help the local community. And this is why we are sponsor as a certification center of the GMI, that is the Young Muslim of Italy Association, supporting women, young women and young students in their studies and in their activities. Sorry. I feel a little bit shame to share a personal history and a personal history of success in this moment in which for sure there are a lot of women and mothers that are suffering for the war but I'm sure that this history can be very inspiring for other women that felt discriminated because they was Muslim and because they was women. When I go back to my childhood, I can remember that in our class we had a last line in which there was a Muslim girl, a Muslim boy, me because my mother was German, people that had some invalidity. And when I look at nowadays, and I look to the challenges that I met and the success that I was sharing with my team, I feel very proud, and I hope that this was inspiring for some other women too. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sister Aisha. Before passing to the next speaker, I would like to make some questions to you. So first, I would like to ask you to stop sharing the screen so we can see you. Okay. Sure. Wow. Thank you for your story. I met you many times before, but I had never knew about your visit, your engagement with the Yemeni people, how you you embrace Islam, and especially what you are doing for the Yas, because we know how important it is for us halal. It's not only a logo, it's not only a certification. Halal is a way of life, and to encourage young people that they can find opportunities and people with experience support them to make halal a way of life and part of their job or experience and business or whatever, but day to day being in the halal environment is inspiring. So thank you very much. So we have some questions to you to complete your amazing presentation that we would like to ask you for the audience. So the first question to you is, what inspired you to launch this the halal when you passed from what you were working about to the halal center, when you founded the halal center? You had said before in the presentation, but just to highlight.
But this came in progress, because when I was in Yemen, I understood that I wanted to revert to Islam. And I understood that to be a lawyer was not my job. So I started to get involved in Islamic finance. And I was very, very interested in Islamic finance and takaful. In fact, my first job in this was to create a software for ATM machine for calculation of zakat and redistribution to poor. So from Islamic finance, I went to Islamic marketing. I think in that period, Islamic marketing didn't exist. We was maybe three or four people in the world, or very few, by the way. And immediately when I lost my job with university, I started to teach another topic that was Islamic marketing and Islamic finance. So halal certification came just as a one shot in the Islamic marketing. So from creation to distribution, in the middle, there was the halal certification. And in the beginning, I was not thinking that a woman could. But after, as I told before, after this inspiring dialogue with the Mufti, I really understood that I could try. And this was very important because he said to me, remember, you can be a chance to demonstrate to people like you, okay, in your culture, that Islam has nothing against women.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Aisha, what were the challenge you had to overcome in the initial stages of starting your project? You had mentioned one that was when you embraced Islam, that you say that some people, what happened with the university, and I think some relatives of yours also.
Emily, yes, and friends, and yes, and I think I want to share this. One of the thing that was disappointing me a lot, it was the opinion not only of non-Muslim but of Muslims too. So this the fact that non-Muslim was looking at me with suspicion was normal, but the fact that Muslims was looking at me with suspicion was not normal for me. So I lost my previous family, but I didn't found in the beginning a new family because I was not okay for the one and not okay for the others. And many Muslims look at me like, oh, you went to halal certification because you needed a job, is for economic opportunity. And this was shocking for me because nobody can understand how difficult it is for somebody to change religion, and especially in a non-Muslim environment like Italy, and how many problems we have to face to follow this and to be able to have our part in the society and in the system. So for me, this was the big challenges.
Unfortunately, it's something that we have to continue working in the Muslim Ummah around the world. This is something that happened also in Argentina or any country. So we have to be more compassionate and more to practice the tradition of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is the most important thing you feel anyone needs to do to build a successful project or company in the halal industry? And let me add you on this, not anyone, the young people, because we are involved with them. So what is the more important thing you feel that they needed to build the project in halal industry?
Okay, if I think about young people, young Muslims in Italy and elsewhere, I think the most important is not to target themselves as Muslims or as Christians, but as professionals. We are professionals. We are not Muslims or Christians or Jewish. So when you offer your service to the society, you are a professional. This is the only way you can succeed. And after you demonstrate your professionalism, then you can start talking about your religion. I mean, this was for me the point. I succeeded in demonstrate that I was a professional in my job. And after this, I could finally start helping my Muslim society, my local Muslim society. So this is my advice. Be professional, study.
Thank you very much. What were the most important learning experiences you would like to share with the audience here?
Oh, I had many.
Try to choose only one.
I had many. I think once I went in Qatar, and I was afraid that my client was not accepting me as a woman, and I started talking about my professionalism. I am a Muslim, I reverted this, and I tried, I don't know why, okay, he said to me, listen, I don't mind if you are a woman, I don't mind if you are Christian, Muslim, or whatever, okay? I only want to know if you are doing professionally your services. And this is really what changed my opinion. And what I will never forget is the teaching of our Prophet Muhammad, peace on him, on what is a trusty merchant. So I always try to remind the teaching of our Prophet when it goes to how to do business. And for me, this is very inspiring every day.
Thank you. Thank you. And the last one, what advice you could give to aspiring leaders in the halal industry? You have mentioned one that was education. So what could you look good to
Constant
add?
education. Constant education is the second, because education is not a state, it's something that is every day. And especially me, for myself, I could see a big change during these years. We started with, as a halal certification, like our speaker before said, okay, and we had to study so much new standards, new implementation, training, but it was necessary because we elevated the professionalism, and each time we have a new training, or each time we go to a new company, we learn something else. So never take for granted that you reached the knowledge, because you will never. Okay, day by day, you learn more. I was maybe in 50 companies doing cheese, but each time I go to another, I learn another process, another secret, something else that I didn't look at before. And so the advice is never give up. Always try to do better.
Thank you, Sister Aisha. So now is the time.
Thank you so much.
Now is the time to go to Spain. Buenos días, España. I don't know if it's the morning, or here in Argentina it's the morning. We will present Doctora Bárbara Ruiz Berjarano. She has a PhD in Arab and Islamic Studies, is the director of the Halal School, Escuela Halal. In recent years, she has participated in numerous seminars and events on Islamic economics, in particular food and tourism markets, including the WAF Dhaka Roundtable, Bangladesh, Ankara, World Halal Summit in Istanbul, Korea Halal Summit in Seoul, and Halal Assembly of Thailand, Bangkok. We know that it's more expensive the the experience of Doctora Barbara, so we will learn today from her, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Gracias, Amal. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, we'll shift to English. I was going to continue in Spanish for a moment. Right, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm glad to see there are so many ladies who want to get involved into making visible the role of women in the global halal industry. I'll be brief because my two previous colleagues have explained a lot. There's something I share with Aisha, and it's that I am also a Muslim revert. And I have the same experience at the beginning. It was very hard. There was rejection from some some members of the family, some friends. It was difficult. And also in the Muslim community, they were always unsure, because we are European, we are culturally European. So there's always things that you do in a different way and ideas that you have that are very different, because in our experience, the bulk of Muslims in Europe come from migration. So they come, of course, people when we travel, when we move, we travel with our own culture, with our own set of ideas. And of course, European women, particularly us, we come from a generation where women had already acquired some rights, and we already had a small space in society. It's probably the generation previous to us did most of the work. Now, and I have to say, in my case, I faced very little difficulties because I have always been very empowered myself. I never thought that the fact that being a woman would stop me, in my career. So I think we were lucky in a sense that there were already laws in place and customs in place, and that women had already a place in society and in economy. It's true we haven't reached our full potential. It's true when you look at, for example, the biggest companies in the country, most of the CEOs, most of the boards are still very masculine, but it's a step by step. We are getting there. I mean, the good news for Generation M, for the young Muslim ladies, is that they have already this path cleared somehow. It's like, I don't believe now a young lady in so many Muslim countries will declare her intention of going or attending university, and she will be rejected by the family or friends. I think this is a conquest we already have. In many countries, probably there are still some that need, to make this road. But I think in so many ways, women in Muslim countries have come a long way from the two previous generations. So this is something positive. There's been an evolution in the positive way. So this is something, an achievement we have to be glad about. Then I wanted to comment something about the Islamic market, specifically about the size. People keep commenting about the $3 trillion market. I don't think it's $3 trillion at all. No, $3 trillion is 3.5% of the world's wealth, and Muslims are about 24%. So naturally, the halal market is much bigger. If 24% of the world population are already consuming halal food, we got this number wrong. So it's true, a lot of the production is not in Muslim hands, but still halal product. So we need to revisit this figure. I don't think it's quite correct. I think the market is much bigger. It's much bigger. It's just that we have not considered taking control yet of the whole, production chain, especially in the food and beverage market. But it's coming as well. I think there are more and more ladies who are entrepreneurs. And I think that they are not only driving consumption, but also leading in the creation of new products. So I think they are already a lot of inspiring ladies in the market. They just need perhaps to become more visible, And the challenges of halal is for ladies, I think, is that, as Aisha mentioned, we need to have a very strong education and background. you know, having the knowledge is crucial for advancing. I don't mean only professional knowledge. We need the soft skills. We need the languages. We need the global vision. We need the cross-cultural education. We need lots of, you know, lateral other things that we need to build our own set of skills to be able to move along the ladder professionally. And I also agree with Aisha, the labeling is very important. I mean, all these labels, women, Muslim, Asian, European, come on, we are people. After all, we're talking about halal, and this is for humanity. So we shouldn't label so much. I think we make this mistake ourselves without being conscious of, you know, we're not aware. We are so used to labeling things. But, you know, in the UK, the strategy for integrating the Muslim population was precisely to delabel. And then when the Muslim community did something, it was never advertised as Islamic. I mean, if they were organizing a cultural event about, I don't know, cinema or exhibition, art exhibition, it was not labeled. And then this not labeling avoided this barrier because there are prejudices against Islam and against women, you know, so the labeling is a good strategy. I think we should be getting together as women, but not using the label, you know. It's not for our advantage or our disadvantage. I think we should, you know, put our credentials before us as people, as persons. I think this is very important. And well, I wanted to share a project that we are developing in the Halal Academy, if I may share the screen. I don't want to be long because I know there are other ladies who are going to share their experiences. So let me just project this if I can. Yes. Right, so professionally, I started working. Yes.
No, no, está bien. Quería ver de que hayas maximizado la pantalla de presentación, pero ahora vi que lo hiciste. Perfecto.
Sí, está bien, okay. Yeah, I wanted to share with you our latest projects just to, I don't know, just to show how we are faring. I don't want to focus much on my personal career because I think it's the work we do that shows, you know, how many opportunities we are opening for other people. So I just wanted to share with you two of the latest projects we are developing at the Halal Academy. The Halal Academy depends on Instituto Halal, that was set about 30 years ago. It's also one of the pioneering Halal certification bodies in Europe. And the Halal Academy is the training and consultancy organization of which I am the director. And I'm very happy to say that my team is very equal. My team has 2 ladies and 2 men. So we're all in for equality. And of course, a lot of the people we work with are also women. So I wanted to show you these 2 projects very, very briefly, because I think they are going to have a very positive impact. So these 2 projects are to develop the Muslim-friendly tourism ecosystem in Spain and Portugal, which, as you know, was the former Al-Andalus territory. So at the moment, we have some specialized agencies like Ilim Tour that do Muslim-friendly tourism in Spain. And I think the fact that we have already some products, you know, like halal tourism or Muslim-friendly tourism is something positive, but I think Spain has much, much more to offer. So we have some tourists already coming to do halal holidays in Spain, but we need to train the tourism sector even more. So we started developing these 2 projects. And what we have, or the main, you know, the main attraction in Spain for Muslim travelers is the fact that we were a Muslim country for more than 800 years. So we have some World Heritage sites that are important. For example, Aragon. I don't know why some people think only Granada was the Muslim Spain, but almost all of the peninsula, including the Balearic Islands, all of the peninsula was Muslim territory. So we have a lot of heritage in the north as well, and in the center, but a lot of Muslims, they only come to the south. So we're now working to change this perception that only Granada and Cordoba have been like part of the caliphate. Actually, there's been many other places that were part of this territory. So basically what we are developing is a series of mentoring sessions with actors, young actors. Many of these actors are young women. Some are Muslim because they find this affinity that they would like to work with other Muslims as customers. They would like to engage, right? So we are kind of developing new products and services, right? For example, the routes already set up by El Legado Andalusí. We are trying to connect them. I'm sorry, the slides, some are in Spanish. We're trying to connect them with products such as Umrah Plus. We have an MOU with Majelis Ulama Indonesia to connect Umrah Plus products with these destinations we are creating in Spain. So basically what we are doing is to develop a new product called educational tourism based on Andalusian characters. And as you know, Spain was the home of Ibn Arabi, one of the most influential philosophers in the Muslim world. He was born in Spain, he was trained in Spain, he was born in Murcia, and he then traveled to Cordoba, to Marchena, and to Seville. So we would like to recreate his own trip on the ground, you know, the places he visited, the mosque where he prayed, is still extant. Now it's integrated in a church, but this is also part of our history. So we need to understand the influence of Islam in Spain and vice versa in the Christian world. So we need to understand all these characters, what was their contribution, not only to the Muslim world, but also to the Christian world, because they were together, you know, they were not separate. I mean, Al-Andalus was not only Muslim, it was also Christian and Jew. So we have a good proof that coexistence is possible. So what we want to do in these trips with these characters, with Ibn Hassan, with Ziryab, with Ibn Rushd, we want to share their experience of living in this special world that was Al-Andalus. So, well, to be short, we're just developing new sets of products and activities which are relevant, obviously, for the Muslim public. That's what we want to do. We want them to be relevant. And also, we want to build these products and services in a way that any traveler will be able to meet the local Muslim community. And I think this sharing time with the Muslim community from different countries and exchanging experiences will be very valuable to travelers and both the locals, because they will feel happy, you know, to see that their heritage, be material or immaterial, is relevant for people from the other side of the world. So there are so many things we can develop in Spain, you know. For example, another set of activities we're elaborating has to do with sciences and technology in Al-Andalus. For example, astronomy. We build astrolabs and with the sky of a particular city. Now the local governments in some localities are reusing the sequía or the irrigation systems for the period of Al-Andalus because they're so efficient. So we're happy to recall all of this heritage and to share, right? And just to close the presentation, I mean, these two projects are ongoing. I will be happy to share probably in a few months when we have some results. But I think women are a driving force in this particular niche. First, because a lot of business women work in the tourism sector. I don't know why, but women, you know, we have this hard soft balance. You know, like we want the hard skills, but also the soft skills. We are people's people. We like to be with other people, and we like. I think we know how to make other people comfortable. So I think in the hospitality business, that's quite an essential principle. So we invited business people to join the mentoring program to develop their own Muslim-friendly activities. And I'm happy to say a lot of them are women, a lot of them are entrepreneurs, some of them are Muslims, some are not, but they come without prejudice. And that's also another positive thing, you know, about Muslim-friendly tourism, that the actors, the local actors, they don't have this prejudice, this barrier against Islam or against meeting Muslims. So I think that is another achievement of the program. Also, the focus is not only on developing an economic activity, but it goes beyond. They also are concerned about the social and the environmental impacts of their activities. So this is a plus. in the case of ladies, they're well aware of their impact. Also, this project will provide self-employment opportunities and access to economic development for ladies. Also, what we wanted to do is to give visibility to Andalusian women, because in history books, all of the caliphs are men, all of the, I don't know, war leaders are men, but where are the women? I mean, half of the population of Al-Andalus is missing from the history books. So what we are doing is we're sponsoring a series of research to bring these women alive back in our period to understand what was their life like in Al-Andalus period. So this is another strand of the project that I'm very, very happy about. And in the last place, women are decision makers. You know, when we talk about the tourists themselves when they travel, mainly the women make the decision about when to travel, how to travel, especially if it's a family. So I think the feminine element is very, very eloquent in the case of Muslim-friendly tourism. And I'm happy to say that we are, we feel very rewarded with these two projects, the Medina Network and the Muslim-friendly tourism mentoring, because I think in the future, the basis of this project is obviously equality. Women cannot be excluded. On the contrary, we are putting the focus on them as social agents, as economic agents, historical characters. So I think it's going to be rewarding for everybody. And I think my only conclusion would be, you know, be bold, go for it, be empowered. I mean, don't wait until nobody has to give it to you. You have to go for it. So, and I think they're very brave ladies in Muslim countries, and I'm sure they will go for it, and we will have a very bright young generation coming. So thank you all, and welcome to Spain whenever you want to visit.
Thank you very much, Doctora Barbara. Yes, we will look for the new project that you are leading about women and tourism. Thank you very much. We have some questions to you also, as we made it to Sister Aisha. That is to highlight what you were presenting today. The first one is, what inspired you to launch this product, or let us say this service?
You mean the Halal Academy, or?
Yes, the Halal Academy. Or if you want to highlight the last one, for example, that you were mentioning.
Okay. This project in particular, well, this project responds to a logic need. There is a demand for tourism, for Muslim-friendly tourism, and Spain is the second destination in the world. The amount of Islamic heritage, material and non-material that we have documented, that we have lots of experts involved. I mean, it's time to share it beyond, you know, the academic, because it's only, you know, we are maybe, I don't know, 100 experts in Islamic history of Spain in the country. When we go to congresses, it's only academic people. But I think it's time to share this with the broader world. That's why we are creating this new product, which are, you know, like science and research tourism or holidays. Inside, you know, if you're researching even Arabi, you need to know where he lived, where he was born. You need to see the places that had an influence of him. You need to get information about other people who interacted with him. If you're studying architecture, yeah. I mean, but also, you know, we don't want to go to a place and get the guide discourse, which is probably very broad and mainstream. We want to get something specifically tailored for Muslims, because the way we need to understand history, nobody is giving it to us. You know, Islamic history in Spain has been hidden for many, many centuries. It wasn't even regarded as something Spanish. It is, many people consider the Islamic period of Spain as something foreign. But it is our own history. You know, these people, they didn't come from anywhere else. I mean, the first small group, yes, they came from Syria, they came from the Maghreb, but then 800 years of, you know, foreigners coming to Spain? No, I mean, there's been this misunderstanding, you know. So it's important to put these things in perspective. And also what I think is the other thing is we would like to do activities that enable to meet the local community. I think this is also an added value that's much demanded and necessary. And it has been challenging because up to now, the typical tourist product is, I offer you this, we do it for 2 hours, and then it's bye-bye. But we wanted to go a further step, you know. We wanted to be able to engage the communities, and it's not being easy, I have to say, because of course we all have our lives and things to do, but there are people who are open, you know, to meeting travelers and to learn and exchange experiences. We just need to create the environment for this to happen. So I'm happy because it's a very creative project and I have a great team involved in it. I'm sure it's going to work.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So, what were the challenges you had to overcome in the initial stages of starting your project? I think that this one is for Escuela Halal.
Well, I still face a lot of prejudice against Islam. In my case, I haven't faced a lot of rejection for being a woman, but I still feel there's a lot of rejection for being a Muslim or representing Islam. And especially, and it's very surprising. Sometimes you don't even expect where it comes from. But I think this is one of the main problems. And the fact that we want to run this project is also to eliminate part of the prejudice. I think we need to change the fact that Islam is considered something foreign or alien to Spain. I think we need to change the view and help them understand that this is part of our culture. So this is the way we combat prejudice. And I think it's you know, when you work with cultural things, it's easy to start breaking this barrier. But I think prejudice against Islam is the highest barrier we have in Europe.
Thank you. What is the most important thing you feel anyone needs to do to build a successful company or project, in the halal industry?
Well, I think it all begins with the idea. You have to believe in your idea.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be also objective and realistic about the economic side of the idea. You know, we don't. There's nothing wrong with finding economic opportunities in halal or elsewhere. I mean, we all have to make a living, and one of the roads to independence for women is economic empowerment. So there's nothing wrong for setting up businesses around halal. It's wonderful, I think. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think the two most important things is the idea. It has to be your own. You know, you have to believe in it passionately. And then it's the feasibility. You have to be realistic that it's going to be economically feasible.
Mm-hmm.
So open eyes. Open heart, open eyes.
Yes. What were the most important learning experiences you would like to share with the audiences? Only one.
Sorry, I don't know. I cannot think of anyone now.
Okay.
Well, you know, as I said, when I have always felt very empowered. I don't know if it's because of my education or because I never had any obvious limitations, you know, as in my choices in life. But I think I'm going to share you a little story. When I was very young at school, my maths teacher was a very nice African lady, a nun, Christian nun, Sor Celestina. And, you know, she was quite a reference for me because she was very, very powerful. She made me love maths. Can you believe it? So if she had this magic power, you know, of driving all these small girls, you know, and love maths, I thought this woman can make whatever she wants, you know. And she has been a role for me because you could feel this power, you know, and it's the power of conviction. So I think women roles, I mean, roles in your life, other women that inspire you are important.
Mm-hmm.
It helps, definitely.
So the last one, what advice you could give to aspiring leaders in the halal industry? You were mentioning it in the presentation and also on the question, but if you have any advice that you would like to share also.
Well, my advice is that, as Aisha mentioned, you really need to be well educated in all senses, not only the hard skills, also the soft skills. And then you need to get a sense of what are the economic, financial, and social aspects of your projects. There's a question here in the chat about financing the project. I'm going to explain about this because we really thought about it.
Yes, of course.
The Medina Network project, for example, what we want to do is to build build up the destination in the different Medinas, the different cities in Spain that were Andalusian Medinas. This the first thing we brainstormed about was the sustainability of the project. So all the Medinas who want, what we offer is we are going to sell your Medina as a Muslim-friendly tourism experience to the Muslim markets. You don't know the Muslim markets, we do. All you have to do is to create this ecosystem of Muslim-friendly products and services, and we will market it. But you have to pay a yearly quota to be in the, in the shop window, to be there, to be part of the project. So the initial capital is a project we won. We applied for funds, public funds, and we won a small amount. This is enough to start with the project, and then it's self-funded. Every year, the Medinas in the project will pay, and they will receive training, and we will do the promotion. So the sustainability of the project is very important. And I think there are also a lot of opportunities in business angels wanting to fund halal projects. So I think this is something really important. You have to look for it. So the initial capital and also your partners, you should, get a good team, not your best friends. I mean, you have to be professional in this decision. To start with, the people who are really going to love the project passionately like you do, and they're going to push forward. And know that many things can happen in the road. But if you fall, you rise again.
Thank you very much. I don't know if there is another question for Sister Barbara here on the chat.
I don't want to take more time because I believe we also still have some other speakers.
Yes, of course. Okay. Anyway, they can contact you. Most
sure.
of us, we know you, so
you have I leave my email here in the chat.
You can leave the email on the chat. Yes, of course.
I'm very happy to. Some of a sister was suggesting that we have a network or some kind of contact.
Mm-hmm.
I would be very happy, but it has to be something very specific, honestly. If it's not a structure, we will just, be sending messages without any purpose. So if you want to do a focus group, a network, or with regular meetings and specific objectives, I'll be very glad to join. So whoever wants to be the leader can include me.
Thank you very much, Sister Barbara. Now we will go to Singapore. Thank you. Jazakallahu khairan. We will meet Sister Amanda Tan, Managing Director on Vibes Nation Vending and Advisory from Singapore. So I invite Sister Amanda. I will present her a little now. Are you here, Sister Amanda? Yes. Okay. As we mentioned it before, she will represent Singapore. She's the managing director of One Vibes Nation Vending Machine. One Vibes Nation Vending and Advisory is a Singaporean vending machine cluster brand that focuses on making sure that business and brand owners stay significant and grow to the next level via digital and robotic vending machine. The uniqueness of One Vibes Nation Vending and Advisory is that they are the first vending machine procurating agency agency and manufacturing company in the world that is led by Singaporean Muslim women. They custom make machines to meet both of our clients' demand and end consumers' acceptance. They assist and advise business and brand owners in growing globally with the market demands via traditionally proven methods and digital trends. They oversees current clients and leveraging in Singapore to launch their brands or products as the starting point. One Vibes Nation have been appointed by global brands to represent them in Singapore. For example, Otasi and many more. One of the landmark example is the collaboration between them and American Real Deal and ASM to bring brand cross countries. One Halal Nation by One Vibes has also a successful track records with Singapore business and brand owners who have launched their products and brands and scale up in the region and globally. This is managed through partners and connection working for omni-channel distribution that focus on conventional retail space, vending machines, and e-commerce platform. Singapore brands that are currently under One Vibes Nation cluster are Eljo's orange juice machines, Sushi by Saki Sushi, and Boon Lay Power Nasi Landmark. Okay, thank you very much, Amanda, for being here. The floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Greetings, good evening, good morning. Depends on where everybody at. So, okay, so maybe before I speak further, I would like to say thank you so much to Brother Muhammad Noor to actually have us here. And this is quite a surprise because it's something that the last I spoke was in Vietnam, 2018, just before COVID. And I was actually speaking and representing Singapore as a 50 top Asia women leader getting that award. And I think what's interesting with the halal market is that many are also not aware that coming from Singapore, we are actually, Muslims are only 13%, 13%. Singapore is already a small country with only less than 6 million, about 6 million plus minus people, and we have tourists. So being the smallest country, but one of the most expensive country, and 13% Muslim women, Muslim population, and finding out how can we actually outreach and go next level, that is one of the most important thing that people do not know, how we are also struggling in Singapore. So maybe if I can share my slides, then I think it will be easier for everyone to understand. So, okay, just let me see. Can you see is it a slideshow here?
Yes, it's clear.
It's clear? Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Yes.
All right. Okay, hang on. Let me just, I think I got the wrong slide. Give me a little bit. Okay, so all right. So what we do actually, I'm a brand strategist. I was actually running a business academy for micro businesses. Most businesses, most consultant or advisors, they usually look for quite a, amount or startup amount that maybe for businesses start with 500,000 and above, or even $1 million. So I work with local online businesses all the way from, I would say that they start their business with only $50, okay? So that was back in 2017. So I stopped my business academy in a way that because I was looking for technology savvy system, basically because that there is a demand for halal products. There are, in Singapore, even non-Muslims are actually buying from vending machines or buying from any retail shops. But the thing is that how do I can collectively bring all brands from all across the world together in vending machines, or and what is it all about behind all these vending machines? So let me just share with you, we're the first in the world that our sister mentioned earlier, that we're the first in the world that actually dispense frozen to hot food, which is the authentic nasi lemak. And we are also dispensing halal sushi. So we partner with brands. And I'm not talking about the food so much, because actually we are the first that actually bring halal makeup, hijab in vending machines. And why we are doing this, of course, the rental space in retail is very expensive, and we are trying our best to actually outreach to all across Singapore. So our machines are not only in malls. And why am I sharing about this? Because you see, how you have a product or how do you actually start a business, at the end of the day, is always about the last mile, meeting the customers, and how do customers buy. So we actually try our best to be in the middle. So which means that how can I get a customer friendly experience, and how do we also help the micro businesses or at least growing SMEs. So but I got a little bit shocked, because actually the big bosses, the big businesses are also crashing, especially during Ramadan, not during Ramadan, sorry, during COVID. I'm getting ready for Ramadan very soon. So we actually, okay, for those who do not know, Singapore comes second after Japan in vending machine. So we have everything in vending machine, from food to frozen food to hot, crabs, meat products, vegetables, plants, so on and so forth. And as far as vending machines are concerned, we even launched an RFID technology vending machine here, which means that people tap the card, open up, and you can just collect everything. You can just buy everything, it will be deducted from your card directly. We have hot vending machine, we have microwave outside. These are all these are the things that we do to just make sure that business stay significant, business stay sustainable, especially when we mentioned about Boonlay Power earlier. This is a local 40-year-old brand. When pandemic happened, they lost more than 80 staff, and nobody could work. At the same time, they lost millions of dollars in catering. So when we came in, we said, okay, how can we actually help businesses? And of course, upcoming soon, okay, this is how our food machines are. And I'm not only talking about food. The one in the middle here is actually a digital machine where we have all the hijab products as well as makeup. And yes, we have been in the news. We have been featured. Why? Is because that we even bring tarts, cookies, cakes in vending machines coming up. And I'm excited because I will be launching our machine in Saudi Arabia very soon, inshallah, before Hajj. So we are actually bringing the technology. People do not know that when we get into the machine, when we get ourselves, women get into the vending machine business, it was difficult, because everyone was saying that you're a woman, how do you know how, and you are not from the, from the factory or from somebody who has the experience. In fact, my team, there's 4 of us, we are all women. We are the one who went to the machine in abaya, in whatever dress code we can, to go to the machine. When there is a fault to the machine, we decide on what packaging fits the vending machine, and we even help a lot of micro businesses actually grow, because when an online seller, these are all the products that have been in our vending machine, which is include coconut. We have coconut in the vending machine. We have accessories, we have hijab. And I think what helped the micro businesses is when someone asks them, can I know where's your product? So they would say, oh, okay, you can either buy online, or you could just go to my vending machine. So when they say, wait, what is the brand of the vending machine? So we call it One Halal Nation, because we actually have products from all across the world, halal certified makeup, Islamic related product. We even launched a machine in National University of Singapore 5 years ago, having Islamic books about Khadijah, Sayyidina Khadija radiallahu anhu, and so many other products. We even partner with Muslims company and organization in Singapore, even from Malaysia, to actually bring their products over. So I think talking about vending machines alone is a business of more than 32 billion. But the thing is that people thought that, oh, you can just buy a machine from any country and then just have it on the machine. That's not true. We work on the packaging. We need to make sure that customer can actually get their products nicely. And coming on the 22nd to 25th, we will be launching our first face app vending machine, meaning that you use your face and the machine will actually dispense your food. So, or dispense whatever products inside. So we have been in the news. Of course, people are excited because these are local food. And I think our friend Aisha from Italy, I had someone from Italy that actually called me in to have my robotic machine to dispense gelato. So we would want to actually see how we can actually work this out, because machines can be very, very expensive. However, these machines can last 8 years to 24 years. So these are most of the brands that have been in our vending machines. So it's not 100, actually we have more than 500 brands have been featured in our machine, from food to even honey. We dispense honey in bottle in vending machines. And I feel that with what we are doing, basically we are just giving a little bit of light to businesses to actually know that if you need brand positioning, if you need brand significance, if you would like to see your brands being seen, there are cheaper ways. Because you see, in Singapore, to start a normal shop or a shop in shopping malls, I think even in Europe, the rental can go all the way up to 10,000-20,000. And given the current situation with the pandemic situation, in fact, we are the one that dispense sanitizers, sajadah, prayer mat in vending machine. And I think we have done quite a bit to just make everyone get excited. And why I said this is because in Singapore, the non-Muslims, the Chinese, the Christians, when they want to buy any halal product for their friends, they actually go to my machine. So they actually will Google, and I would be receiving messages at night and say, hey, hi, do you sell this hijab in your vending machine? And the best part, these are not my products. All these, we are just supplying the machines and the platform. The products are by our clients. So you see, the clients get their traction with their customers. We get the brand positioning done. We help businesses grow. And we also give light to those who just wanted to start up and they are not able to actually explore more. Coming up soon, we are actually tying up with some organization and mosques to actually for the Ramadan, to dispense those goodies for the beneficiary, for the needy, to collect products from the machines instead of this is to just avoid more contact tracing, especially in safe distancing in Singapore. We are getting a lot of problems in Singapore, as in 20,000 cases in a day. So we are trying our best to curb whatever we can. And I think it's a bit weird for me as well, because there is no vending machine management company or procurement company which are led by women. I'm so grateful to be given this task, and 5 or 6 years in the vending machine industry, it's good enough. To be the leading person to tell someone. So if let's say today you come and tell me that, oh, I want to put my product in vending machine, the first question I ask you is, how much is your budget? I will ask you, can I see the packaging of your product? Because in the world, there are more than 400 types of vending machine, different machine. We have conveyor, double conveyor, so on and so forth. So it's quite interesting that now we are being called up by Saudi government to assist them, as the proof of concept has been done in Singapore. So like I shared earlier, we are now having the One Halal Nation cluster. Cluster means in one area, just can I show a little bit? This is just 2 or 3 of the machine. So in one area, there will be like 7 or 8 machine. Example, there'll be like 7 machines. and or even I have more than 8 to 17 machines in one location. I don't have the picture here. Where all the products are halal. So we have the orange juice halal, of course, orange juice machine. These are all halal certified products. And interesting. Oh, sorry. We are the one that in the world that dispense halal cat food. So we have a client who actually sell cat food. So we put the cat food in the vending machine, and it's halal because it's Muslim owned. And we do have Muslim cat owners that are very particular that they want to make sure that their cats are eating halal food as well. So apparently, I really hope that today's sharing give a bit of light to all of you here that who are running business, who do not know how can you actually explore and have your products in the machines, and how can you actually get your brand significant. I would say that I was inspired by Huda Beauty 6 years ago when she launched a machine in one of the trade fair. So Huda Beauty is actually the cosmetic company. So for us, of course, I'm not so sure if Huda's makeup is halal, but for us, we are actually the first to actually dispense even halal skincare, halal shampoo, all via vending machines. So yeah, thank you so much. And let's, I can welcome some questions now.
Thank you very much, Sister
You're
Amanda. I hope to
welcome.
see all these products in this part of the world.
Sure.
Inshallah. Okay, we will continue with the questions, and maybe there is some question in the chat also. Yes, Sister Aisha say, I hope to. Yes,
I
all we
will
want to
bring the
share
machines
products.
over. I will bring the machines over to Spain, to
Argentina,
Italy, Argentina. Don't worry, I will bring all the machines over.
inshallah. To Italy, yes, of
Of
course.
course, of course. I think makeup is very important. Most women, I mean, in Singapore, people are buying makeup from vending machine. We are coming up with an AI where, example, for you, let's say you put up your face in front of my machine, the machine will actually tell you the color, what color suits you. So we will have like a 20 lipstick. So you can choose the lipstick in the machine and it will whatever suits you. Because people get afraid that, oh, what if I buy the wrong color? No worries. I have an AI feature on the machine. So you can actually choose the right color for your machine, for your makeup. We have also nail color vending machine coming up. Tell me, and
Wow.
a halal nail color. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's anything. Vending machine is for anything and everything. Thank you so much for today.
We need more nails products for
Yes.
halal,
Yep.
salah friendly.
Yes. We brought in makeup from Turkey. So Turkey has a quite range of halal makeup, and from Indonesia, where the ingredients are all halal, and we actually help to launch in our vending machines. So I think what I'm doing is just to make sure that the good thing is in Singapore, people were like getting excited because they say, oh, I bought this product. This is actually a Turkey product, or this is from Indonesia. So, and in fact, we are not only launching in Saudi, we are also launching in Dubai, coming up soon. So I guess there's a lot of opportunity to cross businesses all over, especially on products as well. Yeah.
Well, what inspired you to launch this service of the vending machine?
Okay. Actually, I have always wanting to help the micro business grow. So, and I know the pain of not being able to start a shop. So as a business consultant and a business coach then, so I have this client of mine who said that, oh, nobody know my brand. I want to be seen. So we ended up getting her location at shopping malls. But unfortunately, because they were startups or they were just started from online, the shopping malls actually rejected them because they need a company to represent them. So we helped them, and that was why we actually helped them to have their products in the vending machine. And I think what inspired me is the pain of sustaining a business. So a lot of people do not understand that when you start a business, it's not about the launching, it's not about the competition so much, it's about sustaining. So a lot of people start in the first year, third year, 5 years, and then they are gone. And then of course the finances is always a problem. So I must say that we got the Singapore Book of Records most number of halal product, halal certified and Islamic related products in one vending machine. We have 100 brands in one vending machine. And these brands, okay, my machines can go bigger. And these brands are from Indonesia, Turkey, Malaysia, United States. So we were just trying to outreach to everyone and get people the chance to actually being seen. So I guess I am looking into more local brands. I think maybe you can start your own nail color brand, and then I put it in the vending machine and get it expanded. So it actually inspire, because everyone who start a business, they want their brand to be seen. In fact, we have digital screens that we can play all kind of videos. So we can talk about the struggle of the entrepreneur, how the entrepreneur start. So I have this client who I said she started with one machine, now she have 5 machines, and she's all in the shopping malls. And so she's doing business, online business. So like I said, Singapore, we are very small. So it's to struggle in Singapore landscape. Our business landscape is something that there is a need of innovation. There is a need of something different, and there is a need of cost cutting. So for vending machine, we cost cutting. We help to cost cut the cost. So I would say, if you talk about what inspired me, lazy, cheap, and easy to manage. Lazy because the machine is running on its own. 24 hours, you can be sleeping and you can check online and, hey, something sold. Somebody purchased my hijab. I got people buying hijab at 3 a.m. And then when we check the card, it belongs to a man. So I believe the man must be watching football or soccer at night, leaving the wife at home. So to make the wife feel better, he bought hijab for his wife. So it's running 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
How did
And
you?
also, it's something that is innovating. It's something new, something different. Okay,
Okay.
we have another question. Yes, the audience is looking for your presentation. If you can share your contact, so maybe
Oh,
you can
sure,
write
sure.
it into the chat.
Okay. Okay, if you can go to my website. So my website is One Halal Nation form. Okay, and you can always email me at with my name. Okay, so let me see. There are some questions. Can I
I
help
have
to
a
answer?
question.
Okay, sure.
What were the challenge you had overcome in the initial stages of this project?
People do not know how to buy products from vending machines. It's totally new, especially buying food. People were like asking us like is the food healthy? Is this and that? So that they do not know that every food that gets into the machine has to be lab tested. Has to have, when we talk about lab tested, it must be lab tested, frozen and hot. And the challenge, the other part about the makeup and the food and other products was like I said, it was a lot of educational. So we spent like 2 years educating public to buy from the vending machines. And I think that was one of the challenge. And then COVID affected us. We have some machines like those, but you cannot interact. I say, yeah. I would say that there are vending machines all across the world. But of course, in terms of this vending machine, we do have both software and hardware. So that's why I said, first of all, I will check your product. Then I will actually tell you how to which machine works. So if let's say your product can just use the normal machine, save cost, get the normal machine. But if yours is a very different type of products, so we will ask you to change the type of packaging, or we will procure a specific machine for you. But that would be a bit more slightly expensive. So there's a lot of machine testing. So what we do, we advise client on which machine to start first and what is their objective. So we do not want them to just have their machines anywhere and everywhere, especially now the freight cost is very expensive. I used to send machine at $200 per machine. Now I have to spend $1,200 per machine. So it is like it's like 6 times more expensive. So I would say that people need to understand that it's not about. I mean, most investors come to me and ask me stuff like, What is the ROI? Can I make money immediately? Honestly, having a vending machine is just like opening your retail shop or opening your e-commerce shop. You need to do marketing, you need to have a brand, you need the right location. But the thing is that for us now, our machines are at government agency building, military camps. These are where my machines are, military camps, shopping malls, condominium, residential estate. So there will be like, there is a lobby at the home estate. So we'll have 4 or 5 machines selling from medication to food to groceries to shampoo. So we actually blend the different types of products.
I imagine this kind of vending machine that in non-Muslim countries, for example, airports or in
Yes.
places that it's really difficult to find halal foods.
Yep.
And we can be able to find something halal in the roads or in the at the airport.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, Zinedine Paris, in Singapore, we launched machine in hotels as well, because sometimes the hotel their dining only stop at about 10-11 p.m. So we make sure that there are food at night, and you don't need to actually monitor. No, you monitor to top up in stocks, but you don't need to have a physical staff. And of course, staff problem is another problem, because in Singapore, getting customer service can be difficult. Getting people to run a stall is so difficult. The educated students do not want to run their restaurant. They do not want to be at the cashier. They want to because of their education, they want to have a different kind of job. So getting people to work as a customer service or cash service counter is so difficult. So in fact, so we match both machines and human touch. We also have, like I say, we are coming up with AI, AR, robotics. So we have robot hands actually scooping the ice cream to dispense and making the coffee for customers. So it is interesting market because it is a growing market. In fact, we do have clients from Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, even Australia, who want us to start our machines there, even in Canada. So for me, I'm very focused on halal product. That's it. That's the first thing. So if your product is halal certified, if your product is Islamic related, then you put in my machine. If your product is not Islamic related or halal certified, I will ask them to go to other company in Singapore as far as brand is concerned. So we are very micro niche. Yeah.
Sister, what is the most important thing you feel anyone needs to do to build a successful company or project in the halal industry?
Know your market. Basically, it's not about that the thing is, a lot of people think that they want to sell what they want to sell. To build a successful company, you do the service or you sell what people want to sell. It's what people want to buy. So a lot of businesses didn't grow accordingly, or I should say financially well after 3 to 5 years, was because they are just doing things like what they think they want to do. So, I feel I want to sell makeup. I sell makeup, but they don't know what makeup do people want to buy. Is it halal certified? Is it minerals makeup? So you need to understand, even for food. Some people say, I have a very good chocolate cake, so maybe I like people to buy. But have you done the brand introduction? I would say the brand introduction marketing is very, very important. Most business owners miss the part of marketing. They miss the part of branding. So that's the reason why the big brands are still growing.
According to your answer now, to your last answer, what advice you could give to aspiring leaders in the halal industry regarding your experience?
Okay, sensitive questions. We are talking about leaders now. I guess, given the current situation that we can be globally connected, leaders need to understand cultural quotient, CQ. This is what I would like to share. We have IQ, EQ, but CQ is cultural quotient. Before you enter into any market, you need to understand the market first. You need to understand the culture of that particular demographics that you want to. For me, I travel often. I've been going to Iceland. I've been to where? Utah, United States. So I've been traveling a lot. So I'm going to travel more. I'm be coming to Italy and Argentina soon. Then I'm going to meet you. So we need to actually understand what would appeal. It's not about just selling what you want to sell. You need to understand what does the customer want. How can you get the thing? How do you repackage your products to make sure that your brand, your company, your team, your network, because as a leader, you must understand one of the most important being a leader is not about you self-proclaimed leader. You have people that are looking up at you. So you need to make sure that it's not about you making alone. It has to be a win-win situation. I would say win-win-win-win situation. Everybody must. And in business, I feel there is no trial. It's either you do or you die. So make sure you do it. You do it smart. You just get things done accordingly. I mean, I was struggling as when I started. I mean, everyone does, especially trying to get this. But when I realized that the non-Muslims are buying halal product, because people are getting much more. Okay, in Singapore, I think you guys know that we are the #1 faith harmony country. Faith harmony country in every residential estate, we have a church. There is a mosque. There is a Chinese temple or Buddhist temple. There is a Hindu temple. So we have been living together. So the non-Muslims are very sensitive of the Muslims. I tell you, my non-Muslim friends are the one who will look for products that are halal certified.
Yes,
That
and
are
also
hijab.
you have
Yep.
some interfaith and intercultural programs, and this is really
Yes.
important for the nation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think for globally, we need to like our first madam mentioned earlier. Business is about business. It's global. Doesn't matter whether you're a woman or you're non-woman, you're Muslim, you're non-Muslim. Let me tell you that in Singapore, especially the non-Muslims are entering to the Muslim market. The non-Muslim are trying to enter into the halal market. So that shows the potential of halal is very, very huge. In fact, I was also selling halal burkini swimsuit in vending machine. So there is a lot of potential everywhere. So I guess that's how I would say that business is not about you just make money. It's about making sure everybody else are happy as well.
Thank you very much, Sister Amanda.
You're
Now we can pass
welcome.
to the next speaker.
Nice, thank you.
Now is the time for the Netherlands. So I will ask Sister Mariam Aras to be ready. First of all, I will introduce her. Mariam Aras is the founder and CEO of Information Office Halal Food. She graduated in 2000 as dietitian and food consultant in the study called Nutrition and Dietetics at the University of Applied Science in Amsterdam. As a dietitian, she learned a general knowledge of nutrition as the health care aspect in this branch, but also learned about the food industry, for example, HACCP aspect of food. Due to many questions from fellow dietitians and care providers about nutrition information and dietary guidance for immigrants, she started to orientate the needs among Dutch Muslims with different cultural backgrounds. Also, she did more research and study concerning nights about halal food questions. Since 2013, she officially started her own company as Dietist Mariam, which means Dietitian Mariam, and I don't know how to say in Dutch,
Voorlichtingsbureau.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
No problem.
Please, can you repeat the name again?
Well, it's a difficult word. Voorlichtingsbureau. That's because I translated in English. It's easier.
Okay. Which means Information Office Halal Food, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Sister Mariam Aras gives dietary advice with knowledge of the Dutch and the multicultural kitchens, but also taking into account the halal guidelines that Muslims use as a specialism. Thank you very much. The floor is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you still have some energy, or I don't know what's happening, but oh, you already shared. Wait, I have another better part. Can you delete this one so I can share my own? Is that possible? Wait.
Yes, it's possible. Hold on. I will
Okay.
unshare. Okay. Bismillah.
Yes. Can you see my screen or not yet? Wait. I cannot see you now. I don't know. I cannot see anyone now. I don't know what happened.
I can see. I can see you.
I can see you. We can see you.
Okay, maybe I have to. I don't know. I see myself small, but not my screen or anything.
Maybe you should start sharing the screen and go to your presentation again, because you are showing.
Sorry, Mariam. That was what happened as well. I can't see the screen.
Okay,
yeah.
now.
I can't see. I can't see my screen. Yeah.
Okay. And then I want to share my PowerPoint. Look if it's possible. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Can you see or not? Can you see something now?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
we can.
Okay. Well, Sister Emma already told something about me. I hope you have the energy still, or a little bit tired.
Of
maybe
course,
if someone wants to drink
we are
something.
still having energy.
Okay. Well, she introduced me. I am at the moment working as dietitian and specialized in halal food, and also I'm also an information source of halal food. The questions which Emma asked to the sisters, to you and some others, I actually added in my PowerPoint presentation, so you can see my answers in the dias. Also, I will introduce a little bit about myself.
Sister Mariam, you can maximize your presentation, please.
Okay. You see it small?
No, you should start projecting the slides.
Okay, because I see the dia now big. You can't, I don't know what you see, but I see the whole.
Did you start projecting?
I have the dia now before me. Can you see the dia?
Yes, we can, but you see the one in the front, but then on the left panel, we still see the other slides. When you project, you only see one slide.
Is it okay? You have to. You see now only one slide.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we see the slides, but if you project, then it will be occupying all the screen. But it's fine. It's fine like this. We can. Yeah, we can see it like this.
You want it to. Okay, then I let it on this way. Well, during my well, at the moment, I have my own office here as dietitian. It's more the medical part of my work. Besides, I give presentations about halal and healthy food at schools, at the Halal Expo, for the TVs, newspapers, and the radio. And I even also visited slaughterhouses because I'm focused on halal meat and the meat industry. And I have my own website. Ik eet halal.nl, which means I eat halal. I have Moroccan and Dutch background, and the reason why I started, why I was interested in food, was because my father always talked about the pomegranate and the fig tree of my grandfather in Morocco, and he believed that it heals and it's healthy because it's food of the Quran. Besides my mother always told about healthy food of the typical pea soup, for example, a Dutch typical recipe. And well, both food cultures brought them together and inspired me a lot to get a passion for food. And I also believe food can bring people and cultures together. So my symbol, my logo was in the beginning a pomegranate with a meal, which symbolized also the Netherlands with halal. As I told in the beginning, also what Emma told in the beginning was that there was a lot of questions about multicultural food, halal food by consumers, organizations, healthcare, colleagues, dietitians, and about halal. So halal diet especially also. So I wanted to know more about it. Well, what inspired me more to make the step to halal? First, it was my passion for halal and dietitian, but what me is inspired to launch this service, to be halal consultant more, was that I worked in an elderly home, and I saw an old Turkish woman who was sitting and eating with her meal, and I discovered it was not halal. She was not a client of me, so I went to the head chef and I asked him, what is she eating? And he said, well, it's a Muslim meal. I was new there. I was there working for a week. So, and he said, you eat only pork free. So when I heard that, I thought the definition, the term halal, it was fake. It was not clear. No knowledge, not enough knowledge about it. And I felt responsible. As she was old, she was Muslima and I was Muslim. So I wanted to do more. It was not only there, it was also in another institute where I saw this. So it was something in whole the Netherlands where the term halal was vague and not clear enough. So I became from dietitian, specialized in Islamic food more. I went to do more research about halal. Also products, as I discovered, especially when my husband bought something, for example, which was not halal, but an example here was the Chinese tomato soup. It was written vegan, but it contains wine. And so are so many products in Europe where we don't expect it, like salads of tonine, and that you are surprised that it contained haram ingredients. So what was my next step? From 2006, I was delivered. I had a baby, my daughter, and well, I'm a woman who cannot only sit at home and looking to the mirror, to the walls. I wanted to do more, and in the same year, I started my own research and orientated on the internet. and discovered that the information about halal food at social media was very underexposed and fake in the Netherlands. Websites of certifiers were empty or not much information. Also, the products were written halal or a logo. It was not easy to find information about it. And also, to my surprise, I discovered a lot of different certifiers with different halal guidelines active in the Netherlands. More than 140 certifiers. And what was my challenge in this was how to cooperate with all these certifiers, how to deal with this, because they were all not always big friends of each other. And how can I, and how to know their view on halal? That was my big challenge. So I had to deal with the different halal guidelines, which result in further research of the certified food products. It was not automatically, this is certified halal and it's, I can trust it as halal. I wanted to know more, why is it halal? Well, and that there are so many products certified or have contain a logo was in practice, what means in practice that many people actually are a victim of this, in fact, particularly the consumer, because especially consumer cannot easily determine the origin of his or her food. And also because the logo halal can used everywhere, use and misuse and fraud of the term halal. It can use everywhere, and it is not possible, punishable, because there's no national halal authority in the Netherlands or in Europe. Well, what was my next step or my next challenge? To contact more my followers on social media, like Hives at that time and Facebook, and to see what kind of questions they have and the need about halal in the food industry. So I started to provide consumers with information, and I had 6,000 followers before I started officially my own company and website. These were actually all challenges for me before to start my company. Then, in addition, because I have a lot of questions, I wanted to do more research. I had an international network. An international network has been built up with experts, which was a big challenge also. And well, and the followers at social media was also a challenge, because the challenge in this was how can you stay independent in giving advice concerning the different view, the business view, cultures, politics, concerning halal meat, which was happening, lobbyists, etc. before I started officially my company website. And well, as everybody knows who is here, entrepreneur, you have to make a clear business plan after research and orientation, and to make a vision and a mission. And that was a bit also a challenge, which is not easy, and especially where you see so many important things in the halal market or in the halal industry. And you want to inform people with it. Well, I had a vision and a mission. The vision was actually that my voorlichtingsbureau halal voeding, the information of his halal food, aims to provide insight into the quality of halal food in the Netherlands. With this, we encourage healthy, sustainable, and safe halal food and behavioral change among consumers to make more conscious, healthy halal food choices. In short, striving for a healthy halal lifestyle. Also, I try to build a bridge between various target groups, whereby transparency and information are paramount. For example, we hope that companies also will respond to the need for fair halal food through advice. And well, I try to stay transparency, to stand for transparency, consumer trust, innovation, and social involvement. This was my vision. Challenge. The next challenge was for me to focus. Well, that's typical me. I had so much ideas, and I had to focus on the most important things in my business plan, in my vision, and the things I wanted to reach, because a lot of information came through, through me actually. And also the challenge was, how can you with a few money? I think a lot of sisters are. The question is, do they have investors, or do they have a husband who can invest in them, or do they have already some money? But I think not a lot of sisters have this. And if someone wants to start a company, it's the question, how can you, with a little, well, with not much money, start a company? And you have the challenges to look who can help you and teach you and how to get income with your plan. Well, at the beginning, it takes a lot of voluntary work. You have to it takes time. And alhamdulillah, I had a team who helped. And subhanallah, about speaking about men and women, there were a lot of brothers who also fisabilillah helped me with making a website, for example, or supporting me, offered me making visiting cards, sometimes with financial bookkeeping. It was also new for me, learning WordPress. All these things were new for me, and alhamdulillah, that was a challenge, and I invested in following also more courses because I wanted to know more about food related to halal and health. But all these things don't give income. So, but I believe a team who helps also fisabilillah, with together everyone achieves more. And subhanAllah, the brothers and sisters who helped me, they all became now also entrepreneurs and are successful, mashallah. Well, there came more and more challenges, and it will never stop, I think. Well, the first challenge also was, as I said, the man world. I'm born in a family with only sisters. Also, my study as in dietitian was with most of them were women, and in my work also colleagues were women. So it was for me really a challenge how to deal in the halal market with all these men. And I was asked to work for the first halal expo in the Netherlands, and to invite companies. So I became a kind of call center to invite all kinds of halal companies or companies who are interested in halal. And well, when I was there, most of them were also men, and I saw a lot of difference between men and women, how to communicate. One experience also was that a lot of men bluff, but I will tell later. Another challenge was actually the halal meat. Politics tried to ban non-stun slaughter. So I followed a course about politics. It interested me. I had to also to follow the debate between the different political parties and to inform also the consumers and mosques about what is happening with our meat production in the Netherlands, because there was no awareness of this, and also the responsibility for me was to share the information which I had and to awake people about this. And the halal hate in the Netherlands and worldwide, which I discovered. Well, this was also a challenge to do more research, and I became more and more a public speaker, a representative for halal food, which was actually not in the Netherlands. As I said, if they are in the Netherlands, then they were certifiers. But I wanted to be independent. This had pictures of the halal hate on social media, and that is also, as halal consultant or halal dietitian, the challenge, how to deal with negative media. Do you post this on your website? Do you publish this, or do you don't? Or is it better to not give it attention? And that was the challenge in my work also. But the next question is, what are the most important things I advise to build a successful company in the halal industry? In general, make clear aims and check them time by time. They change. As you see, things change, cultures, trends, mode, trends change, the youth change, questions of people change. So you have your business plan sometimes have to change. Be always transparent in who you are and what you want, because that was in my experience the problem in the halal market, that the information was far halal authorities certification was for me something, and still when I talk with consumers, they are not aware of this. Last week I spoke with an imam who gave a course about halal food and fiqh, and I told him, for example, about oisismic or jakim, and he wasn't aware about it. He studied fiqh, but he was not aware about the halal food industry. And keep learning from every aspect before you start your company. Marketing, web design, finance, but also study cultures if you go do business in other countries, as Amanda told. Well, and from Islamic perspective, it's always important. First, start with a niyyah. Do your work for the sake of Allah, and that you want to earn halal and invest halal. Have taqwa for this. Have taqwa. Every step, every project, it's important that you remind yourself with which niyyah you do this, and check your vision, your mission, your business plan again. Do salat istikhara before taking new steps. And also a very Islamic point is build trust and keep promise and be honest. And you can do this by making clear agreements. That was also my experience, that sometimes you trust someone, what they say, but write it on paper, make clear agreements. That was my lesson from in the halal market. And because in hadith said the signs of a hypocrite are three. When he talks, he lies. Whenever he promises, he breaks his promise. Whenever he makes a covenant, he proves treacherous. So be careful. And I love this hadith because it shows how honest and important it is, how important it is to be honest and to keep your promise. Mashallah. Although become sometimes too late, especially in my Moroccan culture, that's something else. But that's also a lesson. My mother always said, with Dutch culture, you have to come on time, and that is something which I really learned from my mother. But actually, it's an Islamic advice. Well, also what I would like to advise was learn about your client, but Amanda told that also before you invest, the different cultures, how you have to talk, but do also research if you want to invest in this person. And that's more also about if you can trust someone or not. Be open-minded and have an open view. Be transparent, as I told before. Be self-reflecting, ask feedback, see critic as something positive to grow further in your way to success. Some people find it very difficult, but if you can deal with critic, it's something positive. See it as something positive. And as a woman, we are sometimes perfectionism. We want to we have kids, or we have to deal with our parents. A lot of tasks we have. Don't look at the things which go wrong, but look if you've achieved. Look where you are now. All the stories, mashallah, which I heard from the speakers, from the beginning till where they are now, they have made already so many steps and examples for a lot of people. So don't look back at when you were 12 or maybe before, but look at what you have achieved, and that's very important. Think out of the box, take challenges, don't stay in your own small world alone, because without trying, you will never grow. You will develop yourself more if you take new steps or challenge. You will develop yourself more if you take new steps or challenges. Like last year, actually, we had a lot of lockdowns. I didn't go out, and I didn't feel I missed something. And I thought, I take this step today. I go to speak in English. I try to dare it. And well, it's for me a challenge today again. And inshallah, there will come new things from this. And know also, it's not about money. Know that the risk, that the fruits of your work comes from Allah, and where you not expected. You always will be rewarded for your good work in dunya, here in the world, or in akhirah after you're dead, inshallah. And I hear the picture like, how can you expect in this mountain from stone that there will grow something? So know that everywhere can grow something. You can be successful, like this tree, where you don't expect it. And have always sabr. That's also my experience, because sometimes when it's go right or not easy, we want it quick. And Allah says, and certainly we shall test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives and fruit, fruit of your work. But give glad tidings to the patient ones. And as I said, success is not only earning money, but use the money for halal goals and improve the lifestyle of you. And if you have employees, for example, invest in more food on the work, at the work, the health aspects. so you can deliver better quality of work in your company. And also picture your plan is, I want direct success to become successful, but in reality, as entrepreneur, as we all know, the reality is it's ups and downs, and sometimes rain, sometimes sun, sometimes problems. But alhamdulillah, finally Allah helps and you can reach, inshallah, what you wanted. And what I said, when you take new steps, the challenge takes, when you challenge, the challenge of making new steps in life and dare to do it, it gives new, take new opportunities which open new doors. And go on. That was also my experience. So I remember the first time when I had to talk for a public, a lot of people, and my feet felt heavy, but alhamdulillah, it became easier. And learning, communicating on different levels is very important. That is also my experience. Doing business with people and how to communicate. Every people is different. So take a course of psychology, for example. This helped me also in my work as dietitian, but also in the halal market with different cultures. Another very big experience for me is time cost or is money. Don't do everything for free. And sometimes it can be goodwill and help to see it as it can be goodwill and help and see it as a public relation, an investment, sadaqah. But be clear in what your products costs. Make and send quotes. This is what I actually learned from the man world. Always be, we are easy to help, to be volunteer, but you cannot live from free money. And it's your right as professional to get something for your work. And always ask, what the next question was, what advice I would give to aspiring leaders in the halal industry? Well, always ask Allah. Well, with leaders, I mean people with own companies, or it can from small to big leaders. But the first thing is always always ask Allah to be your guidance, have taqwa, so that you keep your work halal. The Quran is written, and be not like those who forgot Allah, so He made them forget themselves. And never underestimate your qualities, and don't put yourself down if something doesn't wrong. We are, as I said before, perfectionism is something which a lot of people have, but it gives you stagnation. It stops you with getting inspiration and to continue with your qualities. And also be yourself, be an inspiration source, and do not imitate. Stay close to yourself. That's also important.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Sister Mariam, for such a very detailed explanation. Okay, I think we can continue in the future for future
Inshallah.
follow-up of your suggestions, which is very fruitful and will unite both the East and West in terms of halal nutrition, because we know that among many waliullah, okay, the past, if we look for the track record, halal food began from their mother, all right, and the imam as well as the scholar leaders, okay, their food are very tightly controlled, because if the heart is dirty and stained by haram or shubha food, so we actually lost the spiritual or the cleanliness. Okay, so thank you again. And now, Sister Mariam, we are so grateful for your gracious sharing. We hope to hear later from your side, or perhaps share something online with halal nutrition. Okay, that emphasize your expertise as a dietitian as well as nutritionist to have a healthy halal sunnah food, which is not only for Muslims but for mankind. Thank you again.
Especially now Ramadan, a lot of questions. People want to eat halal because of dua mustajab, and this time is very busy time actually. More awareness,
Yes.
I see.
Yes, halal food, Sha'ban, and then Ramadan. Okay, thank you very much. And now, okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we call upon the last presenter. We are saving the best for the last, and also giving her a tough challenge, okay, and to have the idea of how that all the previous speakers, okay, they have given very sound information on halal ideas, potential collaboration, okay. So how can we actually link with Dr. Nosaidatul Mazlan, who is actually the founder and secretary general of SUSNET. Okay, even from her name, we know it's already something to do with sustainability. Okay, so if there is a sustainability and continuity, how that we can do in terms of engaging the Muslims and non-Muslims side, okay, as well as making it work. Okay, Dr. Saidatul Mazlan is CEO of Think Plus Consulting Group of Companies, Secretary General of Sustainable Business Network Association or SUSNET, which focus on human resource consultancy, talent management, skills, competency development, project management, and international business. So Dr. Noor is also a strategic management expert in project management and entrepreneurship, and also a certified project manager, trainer, assessor on sustainability, ESG, ISO compliances, halal certification, and so many more. So you are very talented. And Dr. Noor is also an international speaker at conference and forums, as well as organizing international events for sustainability awards, certification programs, and business integration. Please welcome Dr. Nosaidatul Akmal, and Dr. The online platform is yours. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, sister, for that introduction, for that wonderful introduction. And to all the listeners that are here today, I'm very grateful to the fact that I think this is the first time for all of us to have met today. And I'm very honored. And I'd like to thank Brother Noor, Muhammad Noor, to give me this opportunity for me to talk a little bit about what it takes to be a halal practitioner and what it takes to also be a sustainable practitioner. I think a lot of people are very passionate towards the understanding about halal compliance. But when we want to talk about sustainability, it has a higher order of how we want to look at what we call as the impact of the community, impact to the environment, and impact to the economy. All of us are very much smart in making business. I think everybody wants to make money, everybody wants to create profitability, and everybody are probably knowing what it takes to make lots more. But we have to understand, we are not just living for the sake of the business. We also doing a lot of what we do for the justice of the environment, the planet, and the social impact. Now, when I was involved in the funding of entrepreneurs, a lot of the time, my passion was to make people get an idea about how to get into a business. And we nurture them into the business, be it for the halal business or for any other businesses which they can be a startup or as an SME. So when we provide the funding, a lot of times the funding go bust. right? And they were asking for more help and more assistance and all sorts of other grants. And then after a long time, I could not understand what really goes wrong with a lot of these entrepreneurs, because we give them a lot of the assistance, we give them a lot of the training, marketing tools, all that. Until I met with the founder of Green Project Management, the so-called Green, which now is called Sustainability Project Management. And this was way back in 2014. And that time, I already retired from my positions in a lot of the government positions that I used to have. So he introduced me a framework, which is very much Sharia compliance framework that is talking about project management. And at first, I thought this no longer very much related to the field of work that I do. But then when I look at the model or the framework or the model, I realized that what make most of my SMEs fail those days is not because they don't have the fund, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the skill, they do not have the integration, how to reduce risk, how to look at waste, how to look at how they call impact assessment, have no clue. So a lot of time people will always look at compliance as a means to say that I have already moved into the next level of my competency so that I can get to where I want. So when I realized that a lot of the SMEs out there could not understand that project management skill is a different skill altogether when you want to handle halal sustainability or halal compliance. That's what made me tick. And that's why when I set up this association called Sustainable Business Network Association, it is just also beyond halal. It's not just covering halal compliance, but it's also beyond halal. For example, later on, I want to talk to you about what it takes for you when you want to do for halal. Everybody talk about understanding, oh, we need to go into halal compliance. What about the halal logistics? What about the people handling the halal in terms of its warehousing and so on? It takes a little bit more beyond that, all right? So I have been working with a lot of these value chain suppliers and procurement where halal is just not about the manufacturing of the products. Halal is just beyond that. It's the mindset. The mindset where we're talking about safety, health, hygiene, planet, what I call ethics, all right? In terms of any other elements of it, yeah? Where when you talk about project management itself, it also talks about bribery. It talks about human intervention. So when we focus just on halal, we're looking at the small portion. So in sustainability, there are 5 elements that we got to look into: product, process, people, planet, prosperity. When I look at this sustainability framework, I then realized what makes project fail. It is not about the funding. It's not about that you don't have enough skills to produce a product. It's about how you look at the wastage. Now, how many of those people who are actually doing halal are still using plastic as a packaging? Now, that again is against sustainability practice, because you know how many people who take the plastic will throw away that plastic and put into the what they call a waste basket or dustbin, where no one will handle that plastic. How can then halal help the humanity support the issues of climate change? So this is an element of continuity that must be addressed. People will look at us as, yes, you are halal compliance, you're looking for the health and hygiene, but you have to look at the ecosystem. The ecosystem is beyond halal. It's the sustainability element of how you look at the players, all the other people that comes in. Okay, now that's my introduction about sustainability practice. It thus incorporates halal practice because it is part of process. Halal is process. If you're just doing a product and a process, you're just looking at 2P, product, process, yet you still cannot make profit because you're not looking at the element of cost, wastage, and all that. But if you're looking at product process profit, then you start to look at price, because you tend to look at what are the other competitors and element of, to what extent they can make it even cheaper. And that's when you start to fight on price. That's again is not sustainable, because at the end of the day, someone will make it cheaper, and at the end of the day, you will not be profitable. But when you look at values, the impact towards the society, the impact towards the planet, the impact towards prosperity, you're not looking at just product. You're not looking at just profit. You're looking at the better ecosystem where there is sustainability. Now, I know a lot of people use the word sustainability, but they do not have the framework. I am a certified project manager, not because I want to be. It's because I knew I need to know what makes SME fail. Remember, I come from Ministry of Finance. I come from the government. I come from the people who provide the funds. And I come from people who give the funds. I come from people who train entrepreneurs. I want to know what makes entrepreneur fail. So when I look at all these elements of what make a project manager fail, it's because everyone wants to become a CEO. They don't know what is a project management. When I bring people those days across the world, go to Dubai, go to Turkey, go to India, go to everywhere, Korea, Japan, we bring all the element of people who are very good in halal products. But when they come back, they could not complete the deal. Why? Because they don't understand, once they have a bigger order, you need now to then integrate with your suppliers, with your procurement, with all the elements of sustainability for you to cut costs, to reduce waste, and to look at integration where you must know how to manage it in a timely and efficient manner. It's beyond the halal compliance. So how many of you are really project managers? Or are you just looking at halal compliance? When Muhammad Noor tell me, he said, what are you going to speak about? I work for people who wants to be sustainable. We give the recognition for people who wants to see that their project is sustainable. So we want to make sure that people who are having halal product has got a sustainable framework so that they can have a longer product life cycle, a longer project life cycle, a longer relationship with their client and their suppliers. Because at the end of the day, suppliers and client stay with you when you are sustainable. If you are not sustainable, they go away to another group of people who are more sustainable. So at the end of the day, we have to understand we need to help each other to give everyone the support on whether they are in A project or a B project or C project or D project. Everyone is unique. It's not about halal as the competitor. Halal is just a compliance. But if your project is unique in terms of its values, whether you are supporting single mom, whether you are supporting autism, whether you are supporting certain community, you are already having your project in hand very much engraved into your own soul, spiritual of halal compliance. If not, your project will just be mellowed down towards just sustainability on halal process, not sustainability in the ecosystem. Okay, so this is what I want to say to you. I'm here to share with you tips of what it takes for you to be sustainable. Number one, I am not here to assess you whether you are halal compliance in terms of this process. No. But I am here to give you an opportunity for you to then get recognized that you have compliance of sustainability. When you have compliance of sustainability, you already have the compliance of halal because it's already inside your process. It's inside your DNA of your business model. But when I give you the recognition of sustainability, you know that you have what it takes for you to grow your business in the area that you believe you are having control. Because at the end of the day, project management is about control. What do you control in terms of wastage? What do you control in terms of its packaging? What do you control in terms of its cost? And of course, risk. The risk that you talk about halal certification is a risk of religious values, which is of highest value. But the other risks in terms of health and safety, in terms of clients' health and safety, in terms of other means, that is also element of sustainability that is beyond the halal compliance, right? So this is where we want to take you to another journey, to another what I call platform, so that you grow better and you get more stable. Because at the end of the day, we don't want halal communities to be just remain as halal communities who are just complying to the compliances, but they cannot extend it to the community beyond the people who love halal. We have to go to the community that also wants beyond that. All right. So this is where we want to ensure, we want to recognize the CEOs that are real sustainable project managers. It's not difficult. You do not need to take an exam. You do not need for you to, what I call, having a consultant, to hire a consultant, no. Because we are here to give you what is called a template. You fill up the template, you will then understand what are the questions that I'm going to ask regarding your sustainable practices. You answer it. Even when you answer it, you will then know, I am already assessing your ability. But that doesn't mean I am victimizing you. I am giving you the honor to tell that if you have the recognition of having sustainability, that means you have reached that level of sustainability. Sometimes people do not know what they know, but because they are shy to tell about it, they think that is not important. So the assessment that normally we do under sustainability practice, it's not about whether you are a super class, what I call 11A star. No, we are not talking about you going to be a super talent with PhD or whatever. No, we are here to give you the best of practices for you to get what it takes on having sustainability practice. Okay? So that's what I want to say today in terms of our impact on sustainability.
Mashallah, your voice and your powerful while you are speaking encourage all of us to believe in halal and to continue working in halal in all sectors, as you mentioned, to have conscious about the environment and other fields.
Yep. So my question is, for those who wants to get into the sustainability practice, I'll be more than happy to guide you. I will give you a template to Muhammad Noor and also to the organizer. And then you will then tell me whether you are ready for you to be assessed. You will get yourself recognized for those who are talented. And again, we will give you a lot of reward for yourself because you are already reached to that level of sustainability. It's the journey that you need to be accomplished with.
Okay, so I think we are almost coming to an end to this session, and I believe this is not going to be the last, Dr. Noor, but this is only a beginning. All right, and perhaps there are other excuses for us to get back in future with more tangible halal projects. This is just a foundation. Okay, we just break the ground. Okay, and start to get to know. Maybe Brother Noor will later tell us about the future directions. Okay, so that we can grow organically, and also consider the strong emphasis of sustainability, which is not just SDG 17, but we must put number one to live up to the Prophet Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's teachings and make it practical to have the barakah of Sha'ban. All right. So I think we are almost coming to an end here, and I leave the homework for Brother Noor to actually collect all the chats, ideas. Of course, every one of us, it's been a long day, but everybody stays. That shows that everybody are energetic and committed, and halal is close to the heart. So without further ado, I think, can I suggest if everybody open their camera and we capture this momentous, very memorable picture. And also we have the doa and salawat to our beloved Prophet Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to get the barakah of Sha'ban. And this is a very noble initiative that Brother Noor had actually initiated. Okay, everybody, please open your camera now. Please don't be shy. We ladies will open first. Okay, the guys. Okay, open.
I will let you know when I will make the photo, okay? Shoot the camera. But I need more cameras on.
Okay. So, Brother Noor and Sister Amal, perhaps you can take control and take charge.
We have more cameras coming on.
Alhamdulillah. Where do we open all the cameras, sister? I'm also learning.
Okay, we are ready. One, two, three. Let me check. One more, just in case. One, two, three. Smile. Okay.
Okay, Sister Melody Amal. So it's already done?
Yes. Already
Okay,
we
so
have two pictures.
Thank you, everybody. Alhamdulillah. So thank you, everybody. And to have the barakah of this majlis, we will actually delay this majlis for tonight or evening or late afternoon to all of us, and continue tomorrow for the second day of International Halal Conference. Be with us, and we thus end this majlis with the recital of Surah Al-Fatiha and Salawat Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Al-Fatiha. Wassallallahu wasallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. So good night, good evening, and good whatever day, everybody, and let us keep on our halal endeavors. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Bye.